Hi class. So for chapter 8 class 3, we're gonna continue discuss about risk and return. And we're gonna be focused on capital asset pricing model, okay, CAPM. And some key concepts related to this model is market risk premium, stock risk premium, standalone risk, market risk, and diversifiable risk, and beta. Okay, so we've already discussed at the end of chapter 8 class 2 that standalone risk equals market risk that cannot be diversified away by adding no matter how many stocks in the portfolio, and diversifiable risk is the part of the standalone risk or total risk that can be diversified away if we add enough stock in the portfolio. Okay, so I guess the new concepts here would be market risk premium, stock risk premium, and beta. Okay, and these concepts will be used in this capital asset pricing model, which is one of the most basic models in the modern finance theory, and we're gonna use it to price a stock or to evaluate stock return. Okay. And here are some key formulas. Okay, so the formulas are for the capital asset pricing model. Okay, stock return equals risk-free rate plus market risk premium, which is market return minus risk-free rates multiplied by beta. And then we have three new concepts, including market risk premium. Okay, again, it's in the capital asset pricing model. It is stock market return minus the risk-free rate. Okay, we use MRP to stand for market risk premium. And then if we use beta multiplied by this market risk premium, we could have stock risk premium, okay, which is RI minus RRF. Okay, this beta is defined as how much stock contributes to the market risk. So using market risk premium multiplying by beta, we can get stock risk premium. And for beta of a portfolio, it could be calculated as the weighted average of the beta of the stocks in the portfolio as portfolio beta. Okay, so taking a first look at these models and concepts, you might be a little bit confused, but we'll discuss them in detail in this lecture. Okay, let's first look at capital asset pricing model. It links risk and required returns. It suggests that there is a security market line that states that a stock's required return equals the risk-free rate plus a stock risk premium that reflects the stock's risk after diversification. Does this sound familiar to you? In our bond chapter, do you remember that our bonds required return equals risk-free return plus bond risk premiums? Remember? The bond risk premiums includes inflation premium, default risk premium, liquidity premium, and maturity risk premium, right? Do you guys still remember we discussed that for any assets or any financial assets, the return of the assets equals risk-free rate plus the risk premiums for that assets. Okay, the return is higher for that asset compared to risk-free assets because of the additional risk the asset has. Okay, so for riskless assets, the return is risk-free return. And for the risky assets, okay, for example, stocks, for example, bonds, their return would be equal to the risk-free return plus the risk premium of the stock or the bond. Okay, that's why in the bond chapter, bond return equals risk-free rate plus bond risk premium. Here, if we want to evaluate stock return, we're using the same methodology or same concept here, same principle here, that stock return equals risk-free return plus stock risk premiums. Okay, so we use RI to stand for the return of stock I, and we use RRF, okay, the same thing we used for the bond return formula, as risk-free return. And we add stock risk premium. Okay, so the key thing here is how we can measure stock risk premium. Okay, here, when we're saying, when we're talking about stock risk, we're not talking about the standard deviation or the coefficient variation that we used to measure stand-alone risk or total risk anymore for a single stock. Okay, we're talking about a stock that we're holding in a portfolio. Okay, and remember, when we're holding a portfolio, we are holding the market risk, right? If we have enough stocks in the portfolio. Right, so, and we use beta. Okay, this is a key new concept here. We use beta to measure how much this stock is contributing to the market risk. Okay, so the stock risk premium becomes the market risk premium multiplied by beta. Okay, and for market risk premium, it is the market return minus risk-free rate. Okay, remember, market return equals risk-free rate plus market risk premium. So market risk premium equals market return minus risk-free rate. Okay, risk premium is the difference of the return of the assets minus the risk-free rate. Okay, so for market portfolio, we use market portfolio return minus risk-free rates as market risk premium. Okay, and beta is the percentage, okay, of how much stock risk contributes to the market risk. So if we use market risk premium multiplied by beta, we would have stock risk premium. Primary conclusion, the relevant riskiness of a stock is its contribution to the riskiness of a well-diversified portfolio. So again, market risk premium is the expected return of a market minus risk-free rate, RM minus RRF. Okay, stock risk premium has the same structure. RI, the stock return minus risk-free rate. Okay, it equals market risk premium multiplied by beta. Okay, so here, these two are really important two concepts here. Market risk premium, stock risk premium. Okay, and beta is connecting these two concepts. Okay, if you are a little bit confused, you can always send me an email, or you can make an appointment with me, and we can discuss more on this through Zoom conference. Okay. Okay, more discussion on market risk premium, MRP. It is, again, additional return over the risk-free rate needed to compensate investors for assuming an average amount of risk. Its size depends on the perceived risk of the stock market and investors' degree of risk aversion. It varies from year to year, but most estimates suggest that it ranges from 4% to 8% per year. Okay. So you can treat market portfolio as a financial asset as well, right? And we talked that bond risk premium is the excess return of the bond over the risk-free asset. Okay, bond risk premium is bond return minus risk-free rate. So stock risk premium is stock return minus risk-free rate. Market risk premium is market return minus risk-free rate. Okay, risk premium is the additional return that the asset has compared to the risk-free asset. Okay, and because stock risk premium and stock risk premium RI minus RRF equals the market risk premium multiplied by beta, because beta is the percentage of how much the stock contributes to the market risk. Okay, so that's stock risk premium and market risk premium. Okay, so when we combine these two concepts, we would have this CAPM model. The stock return RI equals the risk-free rate plus stock risk premium. And stock risk premium equals market risk premium multiplied by beta. So we have RI stock return equals risk-free rate plus market risk premium, which is market return minus risk-free rate multiplied by beta. Okay, so here we have CAPM model, capital asset pricing model, to evaluate stock return if we already know risk-free rate, market return, and beta. Okay, we can use this model to calculate stock return. Okay, so this is the first video on Chapter 8, Class 3 on CAPM asset pricing model, on market risk premium and stock risk premium. And we will discuss more about beta in the next video.